Brooklyn Beckham pressed the nuclear button as wedding dress row and first dance claims reignite family feud. Brooklyn Beckham is said to have finally pressed the nuclear button after being deeply affected by the number of times his wife, Nicola Peltz, was left in tears amid the long-running feud with his famous family. At the heart of his most explosive claims is the allegation that his mother, Victoria Beckham, pulled out of designing Nicola's wedding dress at the 11th hour, a moment Brooklyn believes epitomized how his wife had been repeatedly hurt behind closed doors. According to one insider, the fallout surrounding the wedding dress was particularly painful. The source alleged that Victoria failed to respond to calls and texts from her stylist, Leslie Fremar, who was seeking updates on the gown, citing an overwhelming schedule. Eventually, it is claimed, Victoria contacted Nicola's mother, Claudia Hefner Peltz, to say she could no longer make the dress, before allegedly breaking the news to Nicola via text. Nicola was devastated, the source said. Brooklyn is still smarting over how it was handled, something made crystal clear in his statement. And this wasn't an isolated incident. There have been several occasions where Nicola has been left in tears over what they feel were false portrayals of her role in the family rift. The insider also claimed Victoria initially offered to create couture gowns for Claudia and the bridesmaids, before later changing her mind and suggesting off-the-rack alternatives. By that stage, it is alleged, Nicola's team had already begun exploring other fashion houses. However, this version of events is strongly disputed by friends of the Beckhams, who insist Victoria neither ignored messages nor informed Nicola by text. They maintain that Victoria quickly realized her atelier could not take on the project and communicated this directly and promptly to both Nicola and her mother. Ultimately, Nicola wore a bespoke Valentino couture gown when she married Brooklyn. Crucially, it can now be revealed that these conversations took place in the summer of 2021, around 8 months before the April 2022 wedding. A Vogue feature later detailed how Nicola and her mother made multiple trips to Valentino's Rome atelier for fittings, over the year-long design process. One source remarked wryly, "Maybe 8 months before a wedding counts as the 11th hour in celebrity land, or maybe Brooklyn's timelines are a little muddled." The renewed controversy comes as a guest at Brooklyn and Nicola's lavish Florida wedding pushed back against Brooklyn's more recent claims, particularly his allegation that Victoria danced, very inappropriately, with him during the reception. "She was a bit wooden, but not sleazy," the guest said, dismissing online speculation that Victoria had been grinding on her son. However, they did concede the moment felt uncomfortable. Speaking to the Mirror, the guest explained, "It was inappropriate only in the sense that it felt like she became the center of attention when it should have been about the bride. There was no grinding. It was more stiff and awkward than anything else." Brooklyn sent shockwaves through social media earlier this week when he accused his mother of hijacking his first dance, which was set to be a romantic moment with Nicola, performed live by Mark Anthony. In a blistering statement, he said, "She danced very inappropriately on me in front of everyone. I've never felt more uncomfortable or humiliated in my entire life." His comments triggered a wave of ridicule aimed at Victoria online, including AI-generated memes parodying her dancing on chat shows. Stavros Agapiou, who attended the wedding alongside DJ Fat Tony, publicly backed Brooklyn's account in a now-deleted post, writing, "He's telling the truth." He later added, "Good on him for finally speaking out." Fat Tony himself later made light of the controversy, jokingly likening Victoria's dance to an awkward scene from BBC sitcom Motherland. Sharing a clip of Lucy Punch's character Amanda dancing wildly to Drank Drugs, he quipped, "Actual video footage, it's true, I was there." Brooklyn and Nicola's star-studded wedding was attended by around 500 guests, all of whom were required to surrender their phones. As a result, only one official video of the dance, filmed by the wedding videographer, is believed to exist. Sources say it is in Brooklyn's possession, though it is unlikely to ever be released publicly. In his statement, Brooklyn also revealed the emotional aftermath of the incident, explaining, "Mark Anthony called me to the stage. According to the schedule, it was meant to be my romantic first dance with my wife, but instead my mum was there waiting to dance with me." He added, "We wanted to renew our vows so we could create new memories of our wedding day, ones filled with joy and happiness, not anxiety and embarrassment." Despite the growing backlash, sources close to the Beckhams continue to deny there was anything inappropriate or embarrassing about Victoria's behavior. Still, another guest admitted the moment felt excessive. "It did feel like the Beckham show," they said. Mark Anthony had been praising Victoria between songs, then she was brought onto the dance floor for this big moment. "It was a bit much, and Nicola didn't look happy.